Hi, Startup Vision. My name is Chris Burggraeve. I am the founder of Vicomte, a marketing and microventure company, and the former CMO of AB InBev.
Hi Chris.
Hi Florence.
Thank you for being here.
Avec plaisir.
So we know each other because we studied a few years back, at TRIUM, and we learned so many things, and now here we are. And I know you come from a very prestigious background because you were the leading marketing person for Coca-Cola, then AB InBev, and now you left everything and you created your own marketing consultancy and microventure firm. Why this jump into entrepreneurship?
Well, I've done the corporate life for 23 years and it was fantastic and fascinating. I mean, it has been an honor and a pleasure to work for Procter & Gamble of the world, then lead marketing for Europe for Coca-Cola, and ultimately for 5-6 years the biggest beer company in the world and that portfolio. Yet at the same time, I also wanted to bring my own brand of marketing to the market, and I created my firm on the premise of creating Renaissance brands. And what I wanted to do is create brands with strong pricing power and icon potential, and develop all what I learned from the big brands and from the small brands into one methodology that could help brands big and small.
So we love dreams and visions at Startup Vision, and I learned that you will be the first chief marketing officer in space, and that you're already trained to go to do that. Explain a little bit, what is
space
this?
Is Tintin is Belgian, and it was
that's right.
It was a poster that was in my room for the longest of time, to see that red and white checkered rocket back in the 60s that was going to space. But so the dream was to one day, if technology would allow, to get there myself. Back in 2011, Virgin Galactic was an idea on paper, and I decided to bet on that idea, and now 8-9 years later that idea seems to become reality, and so the chance is possible that in the coming years I will be flying in to suborbital heights, and to my knowledge I will be the first CMO that will be in space.
Wow. So how was the training?
Well, the training was good, but let's see, the reason why I contribute to this exercise is not just because you want to go in space and back. This is Virgin Galactic is all about democratizing future space travel. This is the next step in discovering, in making the world smaller, and in connecting the world with the universe that is out there. So we will be able to fly. This is just like Concorde at the time, and like other space travel was making the world smaller. If we can fly suborbital, we will be able to fly from New York to Sydney in 1 hour. We will be able to fly from Earth to the moon much quicker and discover the rest of the planet. And by being in contact with a lot of these rocket scientists and the people that are passionate about space, it actually makes you incredibly humble. It's a whole new world that opened up. And as you start seeing the world from outside, from above, you see no borders. You see how everything is connected, and how brands also, how marketing should unite and not divide.
So we see the legitimacy of you talking about the Galactic Age in your book. So coming back to the book, you wrote, marketing is finance is business. So what is the secret for marketing miracles?
Companies have always been looking for that special alchemy to turn lead into gold and to last forever. And it's not been that easy, because academic research has shown that the life of a company has reduced from almost 90 years back in the 30s to about 16 years today. 52% of the companies today on Fortune 500 since the year 2000 don't exist anymore. So there's something going on that we are not able to last. Brands are one of the elements that help companies last. Coca-Cola is 135 and more years old. Budweiser is there for a long time. Brands can give people the legitimacy and the model to exist for a long time. I want to help them find the secret sauce to do that, And in the process, bring marketing and finance worlds, those two planets, closer together.
What are the main messages from the book?
Well, the book essentially is all about answering the question, what's the rocket science behind meaningful marketing miracles in the new Galactic Age? I'll give you the secret sauce.
Please do.
the things I've learned over 30 years, and essentially it boils down to 4 points. I want you to look up, look back, look forward, and translate everything in one number.
Tell me when.
So the four key takeaways will be, I would like to inspire people to look up and essentially go beyond the paradigm of local and global thinking, the think local, act local, think global, act local, the combinations, and say think and act galactic. That's message number 1. Second is, if you board a plane, you want to know that the pilot has his wings, or her wings. So in other words, understand the models that work in marketing and finance over the last 50 years. So I summarize everything a CMO and a CFO should know from each other before you move on. Third is looking forward. I give you in one model, I give you the 8 fundamentals, call it Burggraeve's 8 fundamentals, of how to approach the question, is this a great marketing company? And I give you the 8 key elements to look at, starting with pricing power and purpose. Okay. And last but not least, I want you to speak better Wall Street, which is translate everything in one number that matters to Wall Street.
Great, thank you. So you help startups and entrepreneurs, as a consultant, but also as an investor. So what is the motivation behind your choice for such company, for example? How'd you choose?
Well, a startup company that I would invest in, I'd like to understand, do they do something meaningful? Mm-hmm. What is the total addressable market? Is there something fascinating happening? What's the profile of the founders? And what's the team they're going to bring to the party? If I see those 3, then I do. I give you an example. One of the bets I made somewhere between 15 and 20 of these bigger bets. One of them was in the cannabis space. Cannabis is a new and fascinating new industry with a huge fast-growing market that will impact a lot of the consumer packaged goods business. I know something about that.
That's very forward because it's not legal all over the place, so,
So in cannabis is a fascinating new industry. So it's going to be a huge market in the world, estimated between 240 billion, 350 billion once it gets to maturity. Second, in terms of idea and insight that the team brings to the party, fascinating new idea that we can capitalize on. The founders themselves, I've met the 3 original co-founders, I invest in it, I believe in what they can bring to the party. So that company is called Toast. And so we're building one of the first fantastic lifestyle brands in cannabis, is an example.
Okay, thank you so much, Chris.
You're welcome.